Alright, so this question says that a fair die and a fair coin are thrown together once. Write down the set of all possible outcomes. I. Find the probability of obtaining a prime number and a tail. And as you can see here, I've written my question 1 here. So if I want to do just question 1A here, I'll add the A to it. Writing question 1A here means that this whole page is only for question 1A. I can't do question 1B here. If I had written just question 1 here, then I can do A and B at the same time on the same sheet, on the same page. So this page is just for question 1A. And you can see here, when we throw a die, these are the possible outcomes that we are going to get when we throw a die. So you're going to get 1, 2, up to 6. So this is the sample space. The sample space when we throw a die. And when we throw a coin as well, so a fair coin. The sample space for a fair coin, we are going to get either a head or a tail. So I'm going to use H to represent the head, and then I'll use T to represent the event of getting a tail. And so this is the outcome when we throw a die. This is the outcome when we toss a coin. So if we are tossing them together, it means I'm going to get one of this and one of the outcomes of the coin. Anytime we throw, we are going to get one of the outcomes of the die and one of the outcomes of the coin, because we are tossing them together. So when it means that I can arrange this in a table form. So let's do that. So this is my ruler. I'm going to create a table to show that when we throw a die and toss a coin at the same time, the possible outcomes that we are going to get, we can arrange it in a table. So sample space for all outcomes. You can as well list them, but I think putting them in a table will be much easier to understand. So I'm going to create my table. On the first row, I'm going to list the outcomes when we throw the die. I'm going to list the outcomes on the first row. Then on the first column here, I'll list the outcome when we toss the coin. So I have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then here I have a head and a tail. So it means if we toss a coin and then we throw a die, here we have the possibility of getting a head and then the number 1. Here too we have the possibility of getting a head and 2, head and 3, head and 4, a head, and a 5, a head, and then a 6. That means here too, we're going to get a tail and 1, a tail and 2, tail and the number 3, a tail and the number 4, tail and the number 5, a tail and the number 6. So these are the possible outcomes when we throw them together, the coin and then the die. When we throw them together, these are the possible outcomes that we are going to get. So I think that solves our question. If you want to list them, you can also list them. You can list them H1, H2, H3, H4, H5. Alright. Then the II part. So this is your I. Remember, you're not supposed to write in a margin. So this is our II. And it says that we should find the probability of obtaining a prime number and then a tail. Now, probability is successful outcomes over total outcomes. So it means we have to look at the successful outcomes within our total possible outcomes. So, but even before that, let's try and write out the total possible outcome, the number of total possible outcomes. So you can see that total possible outcomes, the total possible outcomes, that is when we toss the coin and then the die together, what are the total possible outcomes? That is what we got in the table here. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the number of total possible outcomes is 12. Then our successful outcomes. What is our successful outcomes here? It said when we obtain a prime number and then a tail. So successful outcomes. Successful outcomes. It implies that when we get a prime number, and a tail. So let's look through our table. Where are the events that we got a prime number and then a tail? So let's look at the tail row here. 1 is not a prime number, so this is not a successful outcome. Then this is a tail, but 2 is a prime number. So our set of successful outcomes, the first one is going to be T2, because T is the tail and then the prime number is 2. Then the next one is T3, because 3 is also a prime number. But 4 is not a prime number, 5 is a prime number, so a tail and then a prime number. 6 is also not a prime number. So it means we are having 3 successful outcomes. We know that successful outcomes, we can also represent it with a capital S. So it means our number of successful outcomes, N of S, or number of successful outcomes, that is 3, as we have here. Our number of successful outcomes is 3. And we know from formula that probability equals number of successful outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes, or the total outcomes. And we have just found that the number of successful outcomes, which is our N of S, is 3. And then our total outcomes, which we also know from here, is 12. So it means we have 3 over 12. And when we break 3 over 12, we use 3 to cancel 3. We are going to get 1. When we use 3 also to cancel 12, we are going to get 4. So it implies that we can say, therefore, probability, or the probability of obtaining a prime number, and a tail, that is 1 out of 4. You can underline that nicely. You were asked the question. So when you are done with your calculations, you finalize the question and then you reply. So that is, therefore, the probability of obtaining a prime number and a tail is 1 out of 4. So thank you very much for watching the video. Kindly subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Goodbye.